What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Pnoid News. Man, listen, I done forgot my motherfucking mouse. I done packed everything up in a rush this morning. Cause, yo, look, legit, I went to bed last night at like 7:30 and I didn't pop up till like 5 a.m. this morning. Apparently, I was tired after being with the kids all weekend. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Things happen. You know what I mean? But I'm out here on the road. I'm almost at my point of delivery and whatnot. So, you know what I mean? I pulled over. Before I get there, be honest with you, because, I'm be about 15 minutes short on time. So I was like, you know what, man, I only got like an hour and a half, whatever. And driving when I'll pop back up. So I'll just, I'll hang out for the night. Anyway, right. So I wanted to stand here and, you know what I'm saying, bring y'all a video about some positive stuff. And like, I'll be trying to tell y'all about my state. Right, my state's different than y'all's. In my state, all right, they don't believe in large government in the vast majority of it. Pennsylvania, it's Kentucky, all right, it's Tennessee, right, it's Montana, it's the Dakotas. Like, we don't like government where I come from. Like, because beautiful. You know what I'm saying? That's thanks to a guy named Bob Durgan. He was a local radio host out of Pennsylvania. Now he retired, you know what I'm saying? But we still maintain that same spirit. This here, you know what I'm saying, was something that the local sheriffs put out. County sheriffs from Cumberland and Perry counties have posted statements on Facebook that they will not cite businesses that operate in defiance of Tom Wolf's shutdown order. Our office will not be enforcing any order that violates our constitutional rights, said the post in Cumberland County Sheriff's Department Facebook page. Sheriff Anderson has stated, I have no intentions in turning local business owners into criminals. And nothing happened to him because this is Pennsylvania, where we have this stuff called freedom, right? PA is legit. Like, that's one of the reasons that the rest of this country has freedom is because a guy named William Penn sat here and legit, he had a belief, right, that most individuals really don't have anymore. You know what I mean? And he had a belief long before the founding fathers, you know what I'm saying, before all the stuff happened, when he founded Pennsylvania, that you should be a free man by birth. And that's why Pennsylvania, they never, we've never had any Jim Crow laws, because that wouldn't fly where we come from. We had redlining in places like Philadelphia, but it's because it's Philadelphia. Again, this is, the liberal, hub of our state. That's the only reason we have any socialist nonsense in our state at all, is because of Philadelphia. Like, every state has the same problem. Everybody hates their fucking local cities. Everybody does. It just is what it is. If you don't live in the biggest city in your state, you hate the rest of this. You hate that city. Because they rule your politics and you feel like you're underrepresented. It's how it works. Welcome to the United States. Democracy is retarded. All right, so now, meanwhile, I think this was Portland, Oregon. I'm pretty sure. If not, it might have been a Washington trooper. I don't remember. Right, but this guy worked for the Port Authority in Portland, Oregon, I think. I have more to add to the story, so check this out.
Enforcement for 10 years, and I'm speaking to my peers, other fellow officers, people in any kind of law enforcement position. I've seen officers nationwide enforcing tyrannical orders against the people, and I'm hoping it's the minority of officers, but I'm not sure anymore, because every time I turn on the television, every time I look to the internet, I'm seeing people arrested or cited for going to church, for traveling on the roadways, for going surfing, opening their businesses, going to the park with their families, or doing nails out of their own house, using their own house as a place of business. and having undercover agents go there and arrest them and charge them with what? With a crime? I don't know what crime people are committing by doing nails in their own house, but we're seeing this more and more and more, and we need to start looking at ourselves as officers and thinking, is what I'm doing right? Now, I want to remind you that regardless of where you stand on
Well, so that's a beautiful message. You know what I'm saying? Legit. That's a beautiful message. And I apologize. The reason it's it's standing here flickering in and out, right, is because of the fact that like my internet is hot garbage at the moment, right? I'm running off at the moment. I'm running off my cell phone's whatchamacallit. It's a mobile hotspot, so it is what it is. So today, though, this individual here stood here and posted up this video. So let's see what happened to him after he dropped that video.
Hey, what's up, guys? So I just kind of wanted to take a couple minutes, get everybody caught up to speed on what's going on in my life. I've been getting a lot of questions, and figured I'd just make a second video and answer some of the things that I've been receiving. I first wanted to say I'm humbled by the response that my video got. It's been viewed millions and millions of times. People all over the country have been calling me, texting me, sending me emails, comments, and the overwhelming majority of it has been positive. And so I think that's pretty cool, because my whole thought process on making that video was trying to bridge the gap between law enforcement and the public. And I've seen both sides with open arms willing to embrace that. And I think that's a step in the right direction. So that's pretty cool. One thing that I've seen come up over and over in the comments, and I've been an email sent to me, is, are you going to get in trouble? What happened to you? Or is there any discipline any discipline taking place? And so I figured I'd take a chance and give you a little synopsis of the last 3 days of my life after posting that video.
Oh, please do. Please do tell us. No, I apologize. I gotta cut it up a little bit, man. I can't just be playing my man's video up in the joint. You know what I mean? That's flat out copyright infringement. You know what I'm saying? It is his intellectual property. Though I am grabbing it from somebody else, you know, because like I don't know where his channel is at all. Like I have no clue. And I looked around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Seattle. It is Seattle, Washington. Port Police fired him. Right. I didn't figure that. And by the way, 2nd Ranger Battalion. Like, holy shit, this guy's a fucking veteran, too. Well, I guess the vast majority of cops are probably veterans. You know what I mean? If I had to have my guess about it. You know, so at least at this point, because most of them are younger. They're all coming back from the war. They need work. And what work are you going to get, really, when the majority of your time you spend as an adult on this planet was holding, you know what I'm saying, an M16 or AR-15 or, you know, I mean, a 50 cal, whatever the case might be. It's going to be kind of hard to find a place for you around a regular part of society. You know what I mean? So I know, like, they give you an MOS or whatever. I know the mentality, but, you know, like, you know the deal, man. When you get back, like, man, listen, they want you to retrain for everything. Like, oh, you didn't go to school for the ASEP program and blah, 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 blah. And, like, most motherfuckers, like, yo, they say they hire veterans, but they really don't. You know what I mean? Like, I've watched y'all come back, and it's fucking terrible. But anyway, we're going to keep going.
So I posted the video on Tuesday, was it May 5th? And it took it took a day or two before it really started getting a lot of traction. But the next morning when I woke up on the 6th, I think it was only at a few thousand views. And I had received a message from my command saying, wow, Greg, what a powerful message. We agree with that 100%. Well done. And that was actually a relief for me, because I was like, great, you know, I know that it's risky.
Yo, man, ain't that beautiful? You know what I'm saying? Now your commander calls you and go, we agree 100%. You know, I mean, this is a beautiful message and whatnot. You know, this is what we should be saying to the public, telling them, like, look, man, you know, we stand with you. We're just like you. And then what happened?
Putting something out like that, but I felt like it was so grounded in integrity and liberty that no one would have an issue with it. So that was a relief. And then fast forward 3 hours later, I get another phone call from my command, and it said, hey Greg, the video's up to 400,000 views. It's time to pull the plug on this thing. And I immediately, it kind of caught me off guard, because I said, why would we want to pull the plug on something that was already acknowledged as a good and powerful message from one law enforcement officer to others? And I said, yeah, that doesn't really make sense to me. I think maybe we should embrace this message and we should share this with other officers. And he said, listen, it's not up to me. I have been directed to tell you to take the video down, and I need to know if you're going to take the video down. And I said, no, I can't take the video down, because if you listen to my first video, the whole message that I was trying to share with people and impart on them is, if you believe in something in your heart, you have to stand by that conviction, even if it costs you everything. And like I said last time, I have 3 little kids. I have this house. I have another house. I cannot.
Well, first off, I'm not sure how you ended up with 2 houses, right, as a cop. But I feel where you are, you know what I'm saying? Probably, you know what I'm saying, you got that military money, you stashed back a bunch of bread back then. You know what I mean? You were probably a higher level officer, maybe a captain, or, you know what I mean, I don't know, lieutenant. I don't know, detective. I have no idea exactly how it works. But you were probably pulling down about 60 grand a year, probably 70 working at the Port Authority. That's a whole different animal than working for a regular law enforcement place. Like, your local cops probably make about 35 to 40 grand a year top end. The state police will earn about 45 to 50. These guys here are a different animal. They work for like the Port Authority, and them guys tend to pull down about 60, 65, right? And then you start stepping up into bigger stuff like, being federal officers, state game officers. Those guys, 65, 70 is not unheard of, and massive amounts of vacation time. I mean, full benefit packages. It's a whole different animal once you step up onto that level. And if you don't have any child support or any nonsense, and you know how to live right, and you know how to handle your business as far as handling your finances properly, having 2 houses, right? Like having, like a house that you stay in while you work, you know what I mean? And then like having something in the summer you can go and, hang out in the woods or whatever the case might be, or, someplace you put your parents, that type of shit, is not unheard of. You know what I mean? That's why, like I'm a truck driver. I'm one person. I'm a single individual. I don't really have a wife. You know what I'm saying? But, I got 3 cars. Like that's just how that operates. You end up accumulating bills. It just tends to be how it works sometimes. You get a deal on something, whatever. But yeah, all right, we're going to keep banging.
Not afford to lose my job. But after putting that message out there and sharing that with America, and it was so well received, I can't then just say, even though that's what I believe, I'm going to take a step back, I'm going to retract my words, and I'm going to allow my command to prevent me from sharing my heart and my truth.
I'll be honest, all right? Though I like the message, all right, this comes off as cringy as shit. All right. And the reason why I'm saying it comes off cringy as shit is because when you go, I just want to speak my truth. I want to just share my heart with the world. I hear every retarded SJW female on the planet in my head when you say that. You know what I mean? I really do. And like, good for you. I feel like there's a better way you could have put this. I mean, not for like SJWs. Like, this will get the lefties on your side. But I'm guessing like you're pretty left wing because you out there, in, Seattle or whatever, right? Or Portland or whatever, right? Seattle. Yeah, you're out there in Seattle, right? Which, you know what I mean? Like that, you're probably pretty left as far as things are concerned compared to the rest of us. Right, we're like build the wall, pro-Trump, we don't really give a shit, pro-capitalism. You're probably far to the left of where somebody like me is. So, all right, man, and you're way more accepting of these female traits. You can't say shit like that in the East Coast. Like, you'll get fucking punched in the face and robbed. Let's keep banging, though.
And I said, so with that in mind, sir, I can't take the video down. And, I didn't know where this was going to go, And I immediately started thinking about, what are they going to try and gig me on? What did I do wrong? What policy did I violate? And I got called back a couple hours later, and by this time, it was skyrocketing. Everyone in the agency was seeing it. Cops from when I was an officer down in Los Angeles, they were contacting me. I got a call, and it said, listen, the video needs to be taken down right now, and you need to accept a letter of reprimand. Or we're going to take a very different approach to this if you say no again. Well, I'd already put myself on that hill, and I had to.
Well, like, when they say we're going to take a very different approach, like, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that was a threat to do bodily harm. Right, legit. Like that sounded like what you were saying is like, we're gonna end up having to come to your house and light it up with a whole bunch of bullets to the point where your foundation collapses around you and your family. That's what that sounded like to me in my head. That's what I would have heard when he said we're gonna take a different approach to this. Because I've been like, well, if you want to gun it out, homie, we can gun it out. It is what it is. Like, like, no, don't challenge me on that level. But anyway, let's keep banging.
I had to be willing to die on that hill. They said they determined the video was a violation of policy, and that if I wouldn't take it down, that allegations would be made against me, and so on and so on. And so...
Allegations of what? What allegations are they going to fucking put against you? What is this allegations nonsense? Like, what are they saying? Well, allegedly, you're a Trump supporter. Like, what is the allegations that they're going to level against you? What are they going to allege you're a terrorist? Like, what? Bruh, like, yo, I need some more breakdown of this, man.
I told them, no, I'm not going to take it down. You do what you need to do. But the principle of it is rooted in truth, and it was a positive message that was received by millions and millions of people. If you want me to take it down, I have to respectfully refuse. And it was interesting because they kept citing different policies, like, oh, it was the social media policy, or some of your equipment may have been identifiable. And that kind of seemed like a moot point to me. And it was strange because why was the message okay?
Wait, your equipment might have been identifiable? Like, hang on a minute here. Because, like, it's no different than you riding down the street and me looking in your window. I know exactly what the fuck it is you have beside you in the same way you would in that fucking YouTube video. Like, what, you don't want anyone to know that you're riding around, you know what I'm saying, with a shotgun, with the beanbag rounds in it? You don't want anyone to know that you got that AR-15 sitting beside you strapped in? Like, what shouldn't I know about? Like, man, listen, home. Like, man, look. I'll explain exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? Here in a couple minutes. Let me finish this breakdown real quick.
At 5 a.m., and then 3 hours later, there was a problem with it. And so I was later contacted by the chief of police. He's someone that I have great respect for. He's a good man to work for. And he's the one that shot me straight. And he said, Greg, if you openly defy your governor, you can't be a police officer in the state of Washington. And I told him, I said, you know what? I can respect that. And if I were in your office, I would shake your hand, respectfully disagree, and say, maybe I'm not meant to be a police officer in the state of Washington then. And here's my thoughts on it.
Okay, so let me put this way, right? The best way I know how. Basically, what you're saying is, all right, is that you legitimately said, wait, because what? I don't work for the governor. I work for the people. Like, that should have been that fucking response right there. I mean, I understand, like, split second decisions, whatever the case might be. Hindsight's 2020, and you're not sitting here, as a YouTuber breaking this down or whatever. Like, I feel you, and I'm not trying to, like, stand here and second guess what you said. Right, but legit, your mental should have been like, do I work for the governor or do I work for the people? Legit, because, like, on your Jonas says protect and serve. Your job is to guard the ports, not for the governor, but for the people. Like, that's something that needs to be reminded to individuals again. I feel like we're missing that somewhere.
On that, okay? You have to do your research. You have to figure out what your true north is, what your truth is, and where you stand on issues. For me personally, I believe that the Constitution supersedes all other documents, all other laws. There's case law supporting that. If you look at Marbury versus Madison, 1803, it says any future laws created that are repugnant, meaning in conflict with the Constitution, are null and void. So when I look at how I feel comfortable enforcing the law, and I see people exercising constitutional rights, it doesn't matter if there's different executive orders, requests from mayors, requests from governors. To me, the Constitution supersedes that, and I'm going to stand with the people.
But not only that, you are a military officer, right? Legit. Like, you got that 2nd Ranger Battalion t-shirt on. You took an oath, you know what I mean, for the rest of your life, not just while you're in the military, to defend this country and the Constitution from all enemies, public and domestic, or fucking foreign and domestic, and that's an important thing that I don't think, we're bringing up enough here. Like, legit. Because, I'm not going to, thank you for your service, sir. Like, none of that. But, like, you're a whole different animal. Legit. Like, you're a whole different thing altogether. You know what I'm saying? You're not one of these dudes, who are just off the street. You're a military veteran. And in being so, you're held to not just the standard of a police officer, but a much higher standard as well. And it is appreciated for you living up to those expectations. You know what I'm saying? That's rare. You know what I'm saying? Legit. Because there's a lot of crooked individuals out here. But we're all men. I know how that operates. And, a lot of us live in the margins and whatnot. Well, some of us lived in the margins. And, I've dealt with a lot of crooked people. So I kind of just work off the mentality that most individuals are crooked from the jump. Because I've just witnessed that far too many times. Anyway, man, let's finish this up.
Well, unfortunately, higher up in all agencies, there's a political game being played. And now I am on a administrative leave status pending termination. I was told by both the agency and the union that I was asked to take it down, and I refused. So that's refusing a direct order. It's an insubordination charge, and it will result in me ultimately being let go from the agency. And I said, you know what? If that's what you guys have to do, if that video is so bad that you want to take my career from me and you want to leave my, potentially take my ability away to provide for my family because of that video, do it. Because I'm going to stand by my convictions, just like I said in my last video.
Well, let's put this way, though, right? Because here's really what they're doing about taking his career away. Technically, you took your own career away, and I'm going to tell you why. All right? And it's not your fault. Cops are crooked, right? Dude came in on the Joe Rogan, Michael Wood, I think's the guy's name. He was an ex-Baltimore cop. And he said there's a YouTube video of a cop rolling in, doing a barrel roll and, like, roughing up some teenage female and shit in a fucking swimsuit at a fucking pool party. And there was like 13 other cops there, right? And it was like, it's such a ridiculous video or whatever, right? And Joe Rogan's like, it was so ridiculous. And Michael Wood goes, how many bad cops are there? He said, just that one, right? Rogan responded. And then, the dude goes, no, there was 13 bad cops there. All right, because they allowed that shit to happen. And there is a thin blue line mentality of the police, all right? And it's been spoken about by police. They talk about it on not a regular basis, but they talk about it. It's the mentality of, there's one gang here, and that's the blue gang, and that's us, right? And so when they have that mentality of, the only gang out here is our gang. I mean, they have that mentality of, we're going to stand here and do what needs to be done. It don't matter, whatever the case might be. Like, that mental is portrayed into the whole entire profession. And these other cops aren't going to work with this dude again. They'll never work with him again. Because if he's willing to open up his mouth about this, he's willing to open up his mouth about anything. That's why snitches don't live in the street. Like, it doesn't happen. Like, because if you snitched once, you'll snitch again. And all these individuals who are working as officers require, right, you to be, how do I put this, criminals from time to time to get the job done. So, like, yeah, he probably just did fire. He just ended his career because he'll never get another job in law enforcement again. If he's willing to take to video and take to the world what happened inside of his precinct, what happened, what he feels about whatever law it is that, was going on, he will never, be a cop again. Nope, they'll never hire him anywhere else.
So yeah, it's weird, how fast your life can change in a week. It's something that I never thought would happen. I never thought that I would make a video that would resonate with millions of people. But my head is held high. I'm not intimidated or upset by how this played out. Like I said in my last video, man, I fought in the streets of Ramadi during 04 and 05.
Yeah, see, like, I didn't even know that he was a veteran. I just knew he was a veteran from the fucking shirt, and he was also a wrestler and an MMA dude. You can see his fucking cauliflower ear and shit. So, like, my suggestion, dude, legit, you're in that good a shape. You can make the same money or better as a truck driver, legit. If you have a chance, if you stumble across this video for some reason, holla at your boy. I can hook you up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can get you set up in the game. Show you some things. You can make 70, 80,000 a year right here, and it's the same money, less bullshit. You don't get shot at. You know what I mean? And you being a cop, you can deal with DOT way better than everybody else can. You know what I'm saying? And as a veteran, you automatically get hired by most of these companies. So holla at your boy. You know what I mean? Anyway, yo, look, it's getting to be almost half hour long. I apologize. Yo, I'll holla at y'all motherfuckers later. Y'all know the deal. Like, share, and subscribe, man. Make sure you share these videos out because YouTube is not giving out notifications. All right? Peace be like one. Later.